What kind of man looks danger in the face and doesn't flinch? What kind of priest becomes a target, not for money, not for fame, but because he stood up for what was right? This is the story of Father Isaac Achi, the priest who faced fire, literally, and how a local volunteer from Kafinkoro became a national symbol of courage. Born on the 4th of February 1962 in Kafinkoro, Father Isaac Achi didn't exactly grow up in the spotlight. He was just a regular boy from a humble Baggy background, raised in a quiet village in Pekoro local government of Niger State. He started out like many of us, Central Primary School from 1972 to 1978, then secondary school, where he graduated in 1983. But here's the thing. After school, while others were chasing jobs, Father Achi was already showing signs of something different. In the absence of a priest at his local parish, guess who stepped up to lead Sunday services? Yes, it was young Isaac. He wasn't ordained. He wasn't trained yet. But the people needed someone, and he couldn't just sit back. That's when the seed was planted. A calling began to take root. Fast forward to 1986, he gets admitted to St. Augustine's Major Seminary, Makurdi campus, and then on to Jos, Plateau State, for theology. And in 1995, he becomes the first ever Baggy Koro Catholic priest. That's not just history. That's a whole cultural milestone. Father Achi wasn't your average parish priest. Wherever he was sent, Mina, Bida, Madalla, he didn't just serve, he built, literally. He raised outstations, constructed churches, and poured himself into the spiritual and physical development of every community he touched. But here's the twist. Father Achi wasn't known just for preaching. He was known for fighting. And not in the pulpit sense. We're talking armed robbery level bravery. At one point, when bandits stormed his location, he stood his ground. They shot him. He survived. They fled. People started calling him the combatant. And honestly, the name fit. Then came Christmas Day 2011, Madalla. A day meant for joy turned into tragedy. A bomb blast tore through the church. Chaos, panic. But while many ran for safety, Father Achi stayed. He stayed to comfort, to help, to serve. that moment changed everything. Some people thought donations were flowing into the parish, that he was sitting on blood money. It led to his kidnapping. But Father Achi made his stand clear. I can never touch blood money, but I will allow them to talk. Let that sink in. He wasn't perfect. He knew that. He had his flaws, rubbed people the wrong way sometimes. But even through the friction, he stayed real. He was the kind of man who could lead in the city and still feel right at home planting crops in the village. And education? That man didn't just believe in it. He felt it. He helped establish schools across the diocese of Mina. Places like St. Benedict's, Holy Innocent School in Madalla, and many more. That's legacy in motion. But now, the part no one's ever ready for. January 15th, 2023. It was still dark. Shots rang out. Armed men were looking for one man, Father Achi. They found him. And just like that, a life of service was brought to a brutal end. They burned his house. He cried for help, but none came in time. And the thing is, his only offense was being a priest, serving with everything he had, loving deeply, living fully, and refusing to compromise. He died like he lived, bold, fearless, and faithful to the end. But here's the thing. He didn't really die. Not completely. Because people like Father Achi don't just disappear. They leave footprints on hearts, on buildings, on generations. He was a local volunteer once, then a priest, then a hero, and now a legend.